Tara, kape tayo. When was the last time you received such invitation? In recent years, this invitation has evolved into different meanings. The tara, kape tayo can mean, hey, what's up? Let's meet up. What's your story? Let's share stories and laughter. Just like a friendly invitation of wanting to get, to catch up with one's life. Para yung mga kaibigan natin na iniimbitahan tayo. Tara, kape tayo. But this invitation can also mean our financial liberation or restriction, coupled with the question, open-minded ka ba? Tara, kape tayo. Pwede bang pautang? So this can be a trap invitation for us to our financial restriction. This tara, kape tayo can also be a utilitarian invitation, especially this coming season, with our friends collecting stickers for their planner. So tara, kape tayo, because I still love some stickers for my planner or the tumbler. But this tara, kape tayo can also be a desperate cry, a cry for help. It can mean, I no longer know what's going on with my life. I am so desperate that I need someone to talk to listen to me, and to figure out where am I in all of this. It can resonate with Peter's cry in our gospel, Lord, help me. Because heartfelt conversations doesn't only happen in confessional boxes, but often it can also happen and put over cups of coffee. Sometimes friends would invite me to have coffee just to meditate and think about what is happening in their life. But admittedly, sometimes no, most often, I do not have the answer to their questions. More so, the solution to their problem. Minsan, hindi ko rin alam ang sasabihin at hindi ko rin alam ang kailangan nilang gawin. But at the end of everything, I always have a question for them. Where do you think God is in everything that is happening to you? Sa tingin mo, nasaan ang Diyos sa lahat ng nangyayari sa iyo? In life, we experience many storms that cause us fear and to doubt God. The many challenges that we're experiencing, sickness, problems, relationships. Sabi nila, August para sa mga nag-ghost. So, relationship problems, financial problems, even the death of someone, of a beloved one. These things can be overwhelming and drowning, that sometimes we fail to see where God is in the midst of these challenges. Madalas tinatanong natin, nasaan ang Diyos sa lahat na nangyayari sa aking buhay? Naririnig ba ako ng Diyos? O meron pa ba talagang Diyos sa atin? Sometimes, my dear brothers and sisters, when we are in the midst of our sufferings, in our midst of challenges, those things doesn't make sense, and we fail to see where God is. But storms of life are inevitable reality. Sino ba sa atin ang walang problema? Taas ang kamay. Sino sa atin ang walang pinagdaraanan? You are a beloved, indeed an exemption. Mayroon din isang manang na lumapit sa akin minsan. Father, nagsiserve naman ako sa Panginoon. Lagi ako nagdadasal. Lagi ako nagsisimba. I always attend to our religious obligation. But why is it that I'm still experiencing problems in my life? The reality is, no one is exempted in experiencing challenges in our life. This is an inevitable reality in our life. And in reality, Sometimes the more we get closer to God, the more we experience challenges. Just like the fire tried gold, we are being tried to purify our intentions. We are being tried to purify ourselves in serving the Lord. And sometimes these challenges are necessary to purify and to cleanse us from our impurities. In our first reading, we have heard a familiar story about Prophet Elijah. We have heard a very beautiful encounter of Prophet Elijah there up in the Mount of Horeb inside a cave. But we ask, what is Elijah doing up there? Have you ever asked, what is Elijah doing up there in the Mount of Horeb? If we're going to backtrack a bit from our first reading, we realize that Elijah is running for his life. He is escaping death, assured death, from the hand of Queen Jezebel. Because all the prophets in Israel has been executed by Queen Jezebel, and he is the only one remaining, and he is being hunted down. And out of desperation, out of this exasperation from running away, we met Elijah there in the middle of the desert, wanting to die. But what the Lord did to him, He sent angel to feed him and to give him drink, in order to sustain him going up to the mountain. And we here have heard about the encounter where God is passing by the mountain. First, there was a strong wind, but God was not in the wind. Then, there was an earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. And then there was fire, but God is not in the fire. God is not in those marvelous things, doon sa mga nakakamangha at nakakagila-kilala sa Panginoon. But instead, God comes through that small, still voice. A kind of whispering, a kind of comforting voice from our beloved, from our friend. Just like our friend telling us, tara, kapit tayo, pag-usapan natin ang problema mo. God comes in those ordinary things, in these ordinary languages, where God encounters us. God comes to our rescue in those ordinary and extraordinary ways. Just like in our gospel today, we have heard that the setting is in the fourth watch of the night. If we're going to translate it into our language, it means 3 a.m., between 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. of the night. And it is said that the darkest moment of the night is that before the twilight, before the sunrise. And here, the disciples are experiencing challenges, being battered by the storm in the darkest part of the night. What would you feel? Imagine these disciples, these apostles, are fishermen. They are used to being beaten by storm, and yet here they are, frightened and afraid for their life. But here comes Jesus walking on the water, telling them, "Do not be afraid, it is I. Here I am, you have nothing to fear." And this is the gospel, my dear brothers and sisters. The gospel, the good news is, God comes to us in the midst of our storms. God comes to us in the midst of our troubles. God comes to us in the midst of our sufferings. God comes to us in the midst of our confusion. God comes to us even if it means walking on the water. Jesus will surely be there to be with us, to walk with us. And Jesus' invitation is for us to walk on the water too, just like with Peter. He said to Peter, "Come, get out of the boat, walk in the water." We too are being called to walk on the water to get over our fears, our troubles, and things that frighten us. In the Jewish culture, the sea is a symbolism of the realm of evil, of darkness, of the dead. It is said at the bottom of the sea is the Sheol, or the place for the dead and the evil. But here is Jesus walking on the water. It speaks of Jesus being over everything that frightens us, being over everything that challenges us, being over everything that causes us trouble. And Jesus is inviting us to do the same. And here, Jesus is telling us and believing in us that we too can walk on the water. Even by that simple conversation, even by that simple accompaniment to our brothers and sisters, even by that small whispering, we can encounter God, and God will be with us. The challenge for us is to see God in the midst of this, to feel God in the midst of this. And so we keep afloat in the sea of troubles and challenges, and we can walk on the water because we have a God who empowers us and journeys with us, who comes to us in the midst of the storm. May God bless us all.